I'm Selena, and welcome to Home Cooked Goodies, where I teach you that baking and cooking are so easy, a kid could do it. This series is all about leavening agents. If you want to know more, stay tuned, because class is in session. Another type of leavening agent is chemical, and chemical will just be baking soda or baking powder. A lot of people ask the question, what's the difference between baking soda and baking powder? Well, baking soda needs to be activated. It can either be activated with acid or with heat. Whenever you're baking something, you're gonna wanna add acid to it because then it can start the chemical reaction process. Think about your favorite science experiment when you did a volcano and you added some baking soda and some vinegar and you saw a chemical reaction happening. That's basically what happens in food. That's why it's called food science. So, using baking soda today, we're gonna make honeycomb candy, which is super simple, super easy, and super quick to make. So first we're gonna grab a small saucepan, and just kind of like how you make the wet version of caramel, we're gonna add about 1.5 cups of white sugar. And then we're gonna add 1/4 cup of corn syrup. This helps it from crystallizing, which is what we don't want. We want a nice smooth honeycomb candy. Then we're gonna add 1/4 cup of water. And for the last part, about 1 tablespoon of honey. So now we're gonna mix this up and put it on the stove, and it should come up to almost a amber color. Typically golden, just before amber, just like how we make caramel. It's at a nice deep golden color. We're gonna add 1 tablespoon of baking soda. So be very careful, because as soon as you add to it, it's gonna have a chemical reaction and it's gonna bubble up. Keep stirring until it foams all the way up, and then we're gonna pour it on a sheet of parchment paper. Make sure it's nice and well combined. There we go. Look at that. Look at how beautiful that is. All right, now I'm gonna take this and pour it right on top of this. There we go. It's all nice and foamy. All right, now we're gonna let this cool, and then we can just dig right in. Some nice crunchy honeycomb candy. All right, so the honeycomb candy has cooled. Now here's the real test. If it starts to bend, that means we didn't cook it long enough. We need it to get a little bit more brown. If it snaps, perfect. Look at that. Just listen to that snap. And look at the beautiful holes inside. That's true honeycomb candy. You can eat it just like this, or you can dip it into some melted chocolate and eat it like that. But it's very delicious and so easy to make. Well, that's it. Another leavening agent. Chemical, using baking soda. Baking soda really allows for a chemical reaction and really allows you to see the chemical reaction. All those bubbles, this really is what happens when you add baking soda to really anything that you want to bake. This is a perfect visual of what happens. Creates all these air bubbles to let it rise.